Well, here we go, guys. We're going to be talking about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis here in this video. Now, in Florida, it is the law that in school, in grades K through 3, you cannot go out there and try to groom students. You can't be talking about any type of sexual stuff, sexual orientation, none of that stuff. And we know that these leftists, that's what they want to do. So Ron DeSantis, who is the best governor in this country, put down the hammer. He said this will not happen in Florida. Florida is where woke goes to die. That's what he said after he was reelected in a landslide in Florida. The people over there in Florida, they love him. They absolutely love him. Now, my only criticism of the Parental Rights and Education Act, I believe it didn't go far enough. I was like, why is this just K through 3? It should be K through 12. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It is now. And I'm pretty sure that the wokes are going to be furious by this because they're out there calling this, of course, the Don't Say Gay bill. Look here on this is the Hill right here. This is the headline they're running with right here. Florida Education Board approves DeSantis' expansion of Don't Say Gay. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in this law that had anything to do with not saying gay. That was a lie put out there by the mainstream media because these people are evil. They want your children. They want to confuse them. They want to groom your children. And now that's not going to be happening in the state of Florida at all. And honestly, guys, we shouldn't even have to have laws on the book about this stuff. But apparently, guys, the left is so disgusting. And I'm going to call it what it is, guys. The left is full of pedophiles. Let's just call it what it is. That's what they are. And they're going after your children. These activist teachers out there trying to confuse children, that needs to stop. There is no reason whatsoever, guys, to be talking about this stuff, with a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. None of this stuff. This new term now, trans kids, that shouldn't even be a thing. The only reason why you actually have a quote unquote trans kid is because they have been groomed that way. They've been groomed that way. And that comes from the adults. That comes from the left. Yes, your Democrat politicians out there have been pushing this stuff. This thing was never an issue when I was a kid, but now all of a sudden you have kids all confused. Very, very young kids. Why? Because Democrats see them as future voters. Nothing more. But look here on the Daily Caller. DeSantis admin approves rule curbing lessons on gender identity, sexual orientation for all K through 12 students. Hats off to Ron DeSantis for this. Because this is the way it should have been at first. It should have been like this from the get-go. It says here, the Florida Department of Education approved a proposal on Wednesday to extend the state's Parental Rights and Education law, which prohibits certain lessons on gender identity and sexual orientation to cover grades 4 through 12. In March, the Florida DOE proposed a rule that would build upon the state's Parental Rights and Education law, which prohibited instruction on gender identity and sexual orientation through the 3rd grade and was dubbed Don't Say Gay by critics, extending it through all grades. The approved rule does not need legislative approval and goes into effect in 34 days. But of course, your other media outlets like this are still calling it Don't Say Gay. Because really, folks, they don't want your children to actually be raised by the parents. They don't believe in a mother and father. Guys, honestly, let's be real. If we actually had mothers and fathers in homes, this left-wing agenda, it'd be done. It'd be done because I believe that when you have a mother and father in the home, your kid is much more likely to be more base. They would not be out there getting in trouble. And the left knows this. But the left is all about the welfare state. This is what they are. It says here, quote, for grades 4 through 12, instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity is prohibited unless such instruction is either expressly required by state academic standards or is part of a reproductive health course or health lesson for which a student's parents has the option to have his or her student not attend, the rule stated. Now, I guess, once they actually get to this reproductive health course, the left's indoctrination is that men could actually get pregnant. And we know that men, they cannot get pregnant. Men don't have the body parts to actually get pregnant. But leftists out there, even in politics, are saying that men can get pregnant. There's actually a video out there on YouTube, guys. I can't remember the channel. But they were actually going around to a prestigious Institute of Higher Learning. And then they went to the hood. I don't remember the university off the top of my head. But people at the university that's supposed to be super smart were actually saying that men can actually get pregnant. Whereas people in a black neighborhood, in the hood, they were like, no, that's ridiculous. This is crazy. Men cannot get pregnant. But if it wasn't for the parental rights and education law, you know what? Maybe that propaganda from the left would actually be happening in Florida. But it's not going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that any teacher that decides to go down this route should get in a lot of trouble. They should be thrown in jail for this. If teachers are found in violation of the rule, ironic, I was just talking about that, they can have their certification suspended or revoked. The state legislature is also considering 2 bills which would expand the parental rights and education law through 8th grade. Now, I haven't seen this clip right here, but this is from Florida's Voice right here. This came out today. It says here, queer man at Board of Education meeting denounces proposed rule expanding restrictions on gender identity, sexual orientation teachings in grades K through 12. And apparently this is a queer man right here. Let's just play it and see what he has to say.
I am a man. I have never identified as anything other than a man, and I have looked and sounded this queer my entire life. My mom says she knew who I was when I was 2, and I have spent every day of my life proving her right. You cannot legislate these clothes off of my body, and you cannot legislate me out of the classroom. This is who I am, and I should never have to fear being fired for being myself. I am here, I am queer, and there's nothing you can do about me.
Thank you.
Okay, something disturbing about that clip right there. Something disturbing about that clip. He said his mother knew at 2. Did his mother at that time just decide, you know what? I got to start letting him wear some clothing that's not very manly? Was he actually groomed by his mother? I mean, these people like this guy right here in that video you just saw, they want your children. They want to groom your children. That was pretty disgusting right there. Following the Florida's DOE's proposal in March, the White House denounced the rule, saying it hurts not just the LGBT community, but all students in faculty. So Joe Biden, of course, and his Democrats, they want your children groomed. Vote these people out. Vote them out. Joe Biden's up for re-election next year. We got to get this man out of there. Let's just be clear. We need to get him out of there. This is what Corinne Jean-Pierre actually said, who is actually the mouthpiece for Biden. Quote, it's wrong. It's completely wrong, utterly wrong, and we've been very crystal clear about that when it comes to the Don't Say Gay bill. See, they're still out there saying that, guys. This is a lot. And other actions that this governor has taken in the state of Florida. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a press briefing, quote, "But make no mistake, this is part of a disturbing and dangerous trend that we're seeing across the country of legislations that are anti-LGBTQI+, anti-trans, and anti-the community in a way that we have not seen in some time. And it's not just the LGBTQI+ community. We're talking about students. We're talking about educators. We're talking about just individuals." I believe that every single state in this country should have a parental rights and education bill, just like Florida. Every single state. Because I believe it is up to the parents to actually be talking to their kids about this stuff. It is not the government's job to indoctrinate students. And this is what they've been doing. They have been out there indoctrinating students. And these leftists out there just going out there and attacking because they want the government to own your children. They don't want you to have any say. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's Washington State. I believe I talked about this in another video. Where if the parents don't want to transition a kid, then the parent can pretty much have their parental rights stripped away. And then the state is going to go out there and they're going to transition that kid, whether you like it or not as a parent. And who's footing the bill for this? I'm pretty sure you taxpayers up there in Washington State, yeah, you're going to be footing the bill for this. This is wrong. This is immoral. What they're doing to children, man, is going to destroy the human race. If the left gets their way, they're going to destroy the human race. You're going to have a bunch of sterilized people out there that can't reproduce. And that's a wrap for humanity. That is a wrap. Because believe it or not, regardless of what the left actually tells you, you need the seed of a man and a woman to actually procreate. And what they're doing, guys, if they're going to pump up all these kids with all this dangerous stuff, guess what? That's the end of humanity. Kiss it goodbye, guys. Kiss it goodbye. But once again, shout out to Ron DeSantis in Florida. They're doing the right thing here. It is now expanded all the way K-12. Now, why 34 days? I have no idea. This thing should be immediate, but it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Ron DeSantis has done a tremendous job over there in Florida. I mean, that state used to be a purple state. And you know what? It could still end up being a purple state once Ron DeSantis is out of office. But what he's doing right now, he's made Florida a solid red state for now. I can't call Florida a complete red state because we'll actually have to see what Florida is like after Ron DeSantis leaves office. Now, I grew up here in Texas. Democrats are running Texas forever. And then George W. Bush won the governor's race in like 1993, 94. And there has been no Democrat win a statewide office in like 30 years. And right here in Texas, we're free. We're free. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.